Barbecue season is upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, Patty B. Proximal stability gives you distal mobility. Mark my words. So, let's talk about here how we can activate the core or stabilize our trunk. You could picture a bowl of soup here. If we are like this, we do not have a stable core because we are stretching all this surface of our trunk and we are spilling our bowl of soup. Okay, so right now we are on a posterior pelvic tilt, and if we go too far forward, we are in an anterior pelvic tilt, which it's not fun, but we're spilling our bowl of soup on us. So we're just trying to create a neutral position of our hips. Okay, is my bowl of soup good? Great. You can picture it the same way of, think you have a can of Pepsi here, and then you want to compress your rib cage on your pelvis proper way. We don't want to be like this. We don't want to be like this. We want to be athletic and stable. That being said, how we can activate this, we're going to put one hand on our side here on our obliques and one on our trunk here, and then we want to try to press and compress a can of Pepsi properly from both sides. There shouldn't be no give. Okay, you shouldn't be able to go into your trunk. You should be able, it's going to push you out. Good. As soon as we got that done, try to keep that in. If you want, you could make sure you time your breathing in. So let's say you breathe in. Not a good proper position to be able to jump, throw, toss, sprint, run. If we breathe out completely, same thing here. We're not in a proper position to optimal or adapt to any activity. And then last breath in, we are stable and we're able to apply force throughout our trunk. As soon as we got that done, now it's easier to move our hip. That being said, again, everything is connected, so hip is moving. So let's say when we squat, stability of our trunk is happening, then we're just gonna sit on our heels and then come back up. So two cues I like to use for teaching the squat would be, sorry, I'm on an unstable surface here, but that's okay. So I'm on a stable surface, toes pointed forward, trunk's activated, bend our knee to an athletic position, and then ride our squat down and then come back up. Okay, as athletes, or as human I should say, we are meant to run, jump, throw, and throughout all our young ages, our younghood or childhood, we're passing, while we're running, we're passing our knee in front of our toes. So don't be afraid of pushing your knees in front of your toes. So again, core's activated, toes pointed forward, and then I just ride it down and come back up. Fantastic. As soon as we got that pattern down path, we could understand position at the hip even better. So again, if we could go back in our squat position, and then core trunk's activated, and then we go down, and then let our spine, round our spine, and come back. Now we could play with our breathing here and understand what is our optimal squatting position. I want to talk about today, it's hinging. So hinging is a very important thing very important motion as we pick up things a lot. So if you say you're moving, you're deadlifting, picking a box or picking a tissue from the floor, those are skills that needs to be understood. Again, we're going to talk about that with core activation. So we activate our core the same way we just did it. Then as soon as we got that, we're just going to push our hips back. So we're going to bring our center of gravity closer to us and come back up. So a big cue here, we activate our core, slight bend in our knees, and then think of loading yourself for doing a backflip. So, because if I were trying to do a backflip like this in a squatting position, I'm not as optimal as if I'd be hinging here, so my hips could go for full extension first and then rotation. So those are the two movements I want to talk about today. We'll go in detail tomorrow, talking about more complex about single leg stability for our warm-ups. But today I want to talk about the squat and the hinge and how to activate our core to perform those movements. So on this note, I'll go back to my barbecue